everyone, and welcome to my little corner. In this video, I'm gonna give you my Netflix recommendations, all of my favorite binge-worthy TV shows on Netflix, and let's face it, where everyone is living off of Netflix right now. Can you imagine a world in quarantine without Netflix? So if you're looking for what to watch next on Netflix, then just keep watching. My first recommendation is You. This will be the most charming stalker you'll ever see. Joe, the main guy in the show, seems like just an ordinary guy living his life, but he finds a girl, becomes obsessed with her, stalks her, kind of finds everything about her, and then strategically places himself on her life. Things go too far, but he's so charming that you like him anyway. So I guess you could understand the girls in the show, and you'd probably become a victim as well. Next up, Atypical. This story follows Sam, who is on the autism spectrum, and you kind of follow him going through normal life situations and normal things like falling in love and things that are normal to everyone else, but it's hard for him. This is one of the best teen shows out there, and it balances everything about life so perfectly as you follow Sam, his family, his best friend, even his therapist. Everyone in this show is going through something, and there are so many life lessons for you to learn out of the show. Next up is Nailed It. This is a baking competition where the contestants suck at baking. It is hilarious. So if you like baking competitions and you also love watching people fail real hard, then this is the show for you. Next up is The Witcher. You probably have already heard of this because it was like everywhere when it came out. It is kind of your new Game of Thrones, kind of, but not really. So you have Geralt of Rivia, who is the main guy. He is a hunter. He hunts like and kills monsters. It's kind of a really complicated story. You have to pay attention when you're watching the show because the episodes are not in chronological order. It's complicated, but it's very entertaining. Not only is the main guy really hot, but there's also dragons and singing and magic, and there's a hunchback that turns into a goddess, and there's also a friendship that very much reminds me of Shrek. Next up is That to Me. This show is crazy. So there's 2 seasons. The second season just came out, and it's about 2 women who just suffered a tragic loss, and they meet each other at a support group, and then they become friends. But one of them has a really dark secret, and I can't really tell you really anything about this show because everything will just be spoilers. Slight spoiler alert, one of them is a killer. Next up is Sex Education. This show is kind of a teenager show, and it explores sexuality and love and friendship and all of the teenager things. And then you have this awkward teenager, the main guy in the show. His mom is a sex therapist, and then he has inside knowledge that he uses at school to give the kids at school sex advice, and the kids pay him money for that. And it's kind of an underground business. It's a really fun show, and if you're a teenager that wants to learn some things, then it's probably perfect for you. Next up is Love is Blind. This is kind of a reality kind of TV show where these people are trying to find love, fall in love with people without ever seeing them. So they're placed in these pods where they talk to each other, they go on these dates, but they're not seeing each other. There's a wall and everything, different rooms, but they hear each other, and then they have to propose, and only after they propose and say yes, then only they will see each other physically. There's so much drama in this show, and it's crazy.
But if I felt like she stepped over the line one more time, I would break her face.
Next up is The Circle. The Circle is kind of another reality style show where there's all these contestants. They all move into this apartment complex, but they're all in different rooms and they cannot see each other. There's a special social media app that is made just for the show, and the contestants create an account where they can either be themselves or pretend to be someone else, and they talk to each other through this new app, and they rate each other on photos, and then people get eliminated. You kind of get invested in these people, and it's really a fun show. You start rooting for all these people, and there is a prize money at the end of the show. Next up is Kim's Convenience. This is a very just lighthearted show. It follows a Korean family that owns a convenience store in Toronto, and you kind of follow them like dealing with each other, the customers, and just life in general. And you just kind of get to know a little bit more about the Korean culture and traditions, but it's not like too heavy on it. And my last recommendation is Kingdom. Kingdom is a Korean drama. If you're not into Korean dramas, I don't know, give it a try. But if you are, Kingdom is something to watch. It's about zombies. So if you're into zombies, this is a perfect show for you. Have you watched Train to Busan, where there's zombies in a train? Well, this drama is set in a traditional dynasty era where there's a plague or zombies that appears in the kingdom. And let me just tell you, this is very intense, and the zombies are super fast. You really don't want to mess with these zombies. If there's ever a zombie apocalypse, pray that it's not the zombies from Kingdom. So these are my 10 favorite shows on Netflix right now, my Netflix recommendations. Have you watched any of the shows that I mentioned? If yes, let me know in the comments what you thought of them. And if you have any Netflix recommendations for everyone watching and for me included, leave them in a comment down below as well. So this is it for this video. I really hope that you found something to watch next on Netflix. And if you did, please give it a like, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.